Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Corey. I'm here doing my third and final video on what gear I'll be bringing with on my 2016 northbound Appalachian Trail through hike. In my first video, I covered the big three I'm going to be bringing. What I'll have for a pack, my warm weather and cold weather sleeping system, and my shelter. In my second video, I covered my water treatment and storage systems, as well as my cook kit, my food storage and bear bag systems, my first aid and repair kit, my sanitation kit, my personal hygiene kit, and my navigation kit. So in this final video, I'll be going over what I carry in my main hip belt pouch, my electronics, miscellaneous gear, what I'll be using for bug protection once that season is upon us, and then my warm weather and cold weather clothing systems. So first I'm going to talk about my hip belt pouch. This hip belt pouch system weighed in at 8.1 ounces, including the pouch and what I carry in it. I use a Granite Gear zippered pouch that all their compression sacks and dry bags come in. What I did to mine was just sewed on a couple pieces of elastic webbing with a sewing machine and put a couple snaps on it. The Blaze AC60 has molly webbing on the hip belt, so I can snap it right on there. Real sleek, works a lot better than the Granite Gear block type of pocket I had. That one didn't have any snaps on it. I never had issues with it falling off, but sometimes in certain conditions, when I'd swing my trekking pole, my arm would kind of hit that pouch, and I think this is going to be nice. It's just going to be sleeker. So I'm going to start with this one. What I normally carry in here is my Swiss Army knife. Has a large blade, small blade, bottle opener, can opener, wine cork, tweezers, and a toothpick. Pretty standard one. This one also has a scissors on it, which is the main reason I chose to bring this specific model. That's going to be nice for cutting moleskin, opening food packaging, and a whole bunch of more intricate tasks out on the trail. Then I also carry a backup light. This is a Princeton Pulsar 2. What's really cool about this light is it has a little switch on the back, so even though it's like really tiny, weighs almost nothing, you can flip the switch and the light will actually stay on without having to press it. All the other Princeton lights like this I've had to, once you release the pressure, the light went off. This is a red one. I did order a new white light one. So hopefully I'll get that in the mail in a couple days and I'll swap it out on this little carabiner stuff here. Then I also have a whistle. I don't have one on my sternum strap on this backpack, unfortunately. This is just a emergency type of thing. And then lastly, I carry a little thermometer. I like to record the temperature in my journal when I start hiking and at night and stuff, so I can keep track of that kind of data. That whole pocket with its contents weighed 8.1 ounces. Next, I'm going to talk about one of the more controversial topics in some hiking circles, and that is electronics. My stance on this is if you don't like what I'm carrying or think it's too much, it's your own opinion. You can hike your own hike. This is what I bring because I believe it helps enhance my hiking experience, and I may ditch some of it after a while if I find I'm not using it, but this is what I'm starting with. So on that note, my whole kit weighed in at 2 pounds, 9.2 ounces. I'm not going to deviate and tell every weight of each piece of gear. If you want to know, you can leave a comment and I'll reply and let you know exactly how much each piece of gear weighed. So what I'm bringing for electronics. First piece of gear I'm going to talk about is my Kindle Paperweight, and I have it in this waterproof e-case sleeve. Then I also have 2 pieces of Reflectix insulation in there to help give it some extra padding. Slides in real nice. The Paperweight has a real great battery life on it, so I'll be able to hold hundreds of books in there, some different cookbooks. My favorite one, Lip Smacking Vegetarian Backpacking. I'll have a copy of that on here. So bring that with for some entertainment. I'm also going to have in another waterproof e-case. This one has a cool little headphone jack in it. I keep my iPod 160 gig iPod Classic, and I'm a musician in my spare time, so I love music. It's really great for those days when you're having a hard time getting up in the morning and going, or you got a big hill to climb. I sometimes find if I put some up-tempo music in my headphones, it will help me push on through. It's also, I use it for bug season when those mosquitoes are buzzing in your ears all day, and they just annoy the crap out of me. So I put music in, figure that's easier to listen to than bugs buzzing in my ear. I'm also going to have my iPhone 6. It's just an 8 gig one, so I'm going to use it for pictures and video and uploading stuff to my Instagram and YouTube along the way. So it has a lot of other functions. Really like this phone, so I'll have that with me. Now I'll just have a pair of Skull Candy earplugs as well. Then I bought this Anchor external battery pack here. It's a 10,000 milliamp one. It has 2 USB outputs on it. And then I have some cables here that I'll be bringing with me. I found this really cool cable on Amazon. It has 1 USB, and then I can charge all 3 of my devices off of it. It has a lightning cable, a 30 pin for my iPod Classic, and micro USB for my Kindle. The one thing about this cord is, though, you have to do it in succession of most powerful to least powerful. So I'll plug in my phone first, then my iPod, and then my Kindle. Or else it doesn't seem to work for some reason. And then I also carry a backup fire cable for my phone and a micro USB. Then a little headphone connector if I ever want to listen to something on my cell phone. Then I'll also have a couple little bricks for charging when I get into town. Just came with iPhones I've had in the past. And then I'll also be carrying this little phone holder. So this will be for when I'm out on the trail and I'm using the stick pick on the bottom here. I want to take some video while I'm hiking, or I want to get a cool picture and there's no one else around to help me. I can extend it out on my trekking pole like a boom and get some pictures. So then my main light I'll be bringing out is the Petzl Tika Plus 2. Chose this one because it has the red light on it. I found out when you're camping around a lot of people, it's nice not to be able not to have to blare your white light on their tents. So it's nice to have the red one, and it helps with not losing your night vision. And then I have a little backup battery case here, so this prevents the batteries from touching and whatnot while they're bouncing around in your pack. I have 6 Energizer advanced lithium batteries in here. I'm going to be using those for my headlamp. Then lastly, I have, for carrying all my electronics, I use a 2-bag system just because it gives me a little bit of sense of security. Might not do anything, but it makes me feel better. So I'll carry Sil Nylon Granite Gear dry sack, or not dry sack, but compression sack in a Sea to Summit 4-liter dry bag. Seems to keep everything pretty dry with the extra cases and everything. So that's what I carry for electronics. And once again, that whole kit was 2 pounds, 9.2 ounces. If you have any questions on specific weights, comment and I will return and let you guys know what each weight of my electronic gear is. So moving on, I'm going to talk about miscellaneous gear. So this turned out to be 1 pound, 7 ounces. And I also have my trekking poles in there, which weigh 1 pound, but I don't include those in the total weight just because I'll be holding them in my hands the whole time. So for miscellaneous gear, I have, like I said, my leaky trekking poles. Had them for years. They're still working. I'll keep with them until they break. Um, Next pair I get, I will get a pair that has the locking mechanism on them. These are the kind where you unscrew them and screw them back down. Um, just like to try a different set maybe sometime, but this is the ones I'll be starting with. Secondly, I will have a Go Light umbrella in my pack. I don't bring rain pants, so the weight I allocate to this kind of replaces rain pants in my mind. I don't use it a whole lot when I'm actually hiking, but at night when I go to use the bathroom or when I'm setting up camp or just taking a rest on a rainy day and I can't find shelter, this is awesome to have. I will use it on occasion if it's really light rain and I don't feel like moving too fast. It does kind of slow me down when I'm hiking. And then I have to put my poles on my pack. But I'm going to start with that. Hopefully it's a weight that's worth its weight to bring with. Other miscellaneous gear I have my whiskey flask. So I'll probably fill that up with either some Jameson or something when I start out. And then I could refill it or split it with someone or have a plastic bottle and not have to worry about glass. If I want to get something in glass, I can just transfer it. Earplugs. This is something I found to be very useful when I'm camping in big groups. It sucks when you get stuck right next to the guy that snores all night. You can't sleep. So have some earplugs with me. I'm also bringing a small pack towel. It was about double the size, but I cut it down the other day. Now it's about 1.5 feet by maybe a foot. So this is your standard pack towel. Carry it in a little tiny 1 liter Sea to Summit Nano nylon dry bag. The last piece of miscellaneous gear, I guess I got two more. I have a second pouch, hip belt pouch I included in that. Then I have my Thermarest Neo Air sit pad. So this is nice for just sitting on the ground when you're getting dressed in the morning. You don't want to get your socks muddy, or for when you take rests on the trail. I have a little system. I'll set this down and I'll lean my pack against a tree, then I can sit on this and lean against my pack, and it makes a pretty comfy little chair. Only takes a couple breaths to blow it up. Holds the air pretty well. Nice little pad. I also use it in my tent to help keep things off the tent floor in case the tent floor gets saturated or there's condensation underneath. Works great for keeping stuff off the floor of the tent too. So I believe that's all of my miscellaneous gear, and that came out to be 1 pound 7 ounces for everything except the trekking poles, and then the trekking poles are another pound. So next I'm going to talk about what I will be using come bug season. Number one piece of gear I always have when it's buggy out is my Sea to Summit Insect Shield head net. This thing has saved my butt so many times on the Superior Hiking Trail in June and July. Awesome piece of gear, weighs nothing, won't leave home without it. Then for after bug bites to help soothe them, I'm going to have a Bug Bite Eraser blend of essential oils from Veritas Botanicals. This is going to be great for swelling and itching and just soothing my wounds at the end of the day. This has clove, tea tree, lavender, and peppermint essential oil in it. And then for my actual bug repellent, I am gonna have access to the Zac and Nax natural bug spray. Got this as a free sample at the co-op I work at. Haven't gotten around to trying it out yet, but it's a little bit lighter than my second option I'm going to show you. I still haven't decided which one I'm going to use to start. I'm kind of leaning more towards this option here of essential oil concentrate and a 1 ounce brown glass spray bottle. This is another Veritas Botanicals essential oil blend. You just add like maybe 30 drops to this 1 ounce bottle, maybe 20, and then shake it up and then use it, and it works as a pretty good bug repellent. I've made my own out of different essential oils that weren't already blended together. This one's slightly different than my recipe, but the ease of not having to mix it in as I go is why I chose that. So if I bring the Veritas essential oil and the small brown glass bottle, the weight would be 6.3 ounces. And if I go with the plastic bottle, the pre-made bug spray, it would be 4.9 ounces. Like I said, I think I'm leaning towards the brown glass bottle and the concentrate that I can mix as I go, just because I make it as strong or as weak as I need. Alright, the last big thing I'm going to talk about here is my clothing system. So, my cold weather clothing system ended up weighing in at 5 pounds, 7.75 ounces. And my warm weather clothing system weighed in at 4 pounds, 14 ounces. I got those weights based on what I plan on wearing while I'm hiking during the day and what I will have in my pack while I'm hiking. First off, I'm going to talk about my jackets and my insulating layers. So for warm hiking weather season, I'll have this sent to Damascus. Have my 800 fill Patagonia down vest. This thing is awesome. It weighed in at 9.8 ounces with the stuff sack, so 9 ounces without the stuff sack. Then I carry that in a 2-liter Sea to Summit Sil nylon dry bag. Great insulating layer. Love it. Love that piece of gear so much. About a year after I bought that, I ended up buying a Patagonia down hoodie. Once again, 800 fill down. Has the hood on it with the 4-liter Sea to Summit Sil nylon dry bag. That weighed in at 1 pound, 0.4 ounces. So just over a pound. I'll be starting the trail with this as my insulating layer. Love this jacket, wear it all the time. It's about 4 years old and still keeps me plenty warm even in these cold Minnesota winters. Last jacket I'm going to talk about, I'll have this my whole trip, is my North Face high vent rain jacket. Had this one for maybe 3 seasons, has a couple holes in it in a few spots, but it has pit zips. And I know North Face has great warranty, so if anything happens to it on the trail, they should be able to help me out and send a new one. I've had to do that once or twice with these guys before, but this is the rain jacket I'll be starting with. That guy weighs 13.4 ounces with the stuff sack. Next, I'll talk about what I'm going to be carrying in my cold weather system. So this is what will be in the pack while I'm hiking. For insulating layers, I have a pair of long johns I've had for probably 15 years. The brand is Body Sense. Pretty nice, keep me warm. I talked to a friend who did a through hike a few seasons ago, and he said definitely bring 2 pair of long johns or a pair of running tights and a pair of long johns so you can get pretty cold in the Smokies, especially said. So I'll also be bringing a pair of Patagonia Capilene long johns. These are size medium, same as the Body Sense ones. Then I'll have 1 pair of backup spandex compression shorts that I'll wear when my other ones are dirty. Then I'm also going to have a pair of swim trunks. Once it gets warm enough, I'll be hiking in these. But to start, I'll probably keep them in my pack. Then I'll have icebreaker merino wool short sleeve shirt um, in my pack as well to start, and then as a kind of an insulating, not insulating, but a base layer. I also have a long sleeve merino wool icebreaker shirt. For socks, I'm going to start out with 2 pair of Darn Tough socks in my pack, and then a 3rd pair on my feet. So I'll have 3 pair total with me. For just kind of overall purpose use, I'm going to be bringing 2 buffs, just regular cotton ones. Love these, use these all the time. So I'll have those. And then I'll bring one of these 2 bandanas with me. Because I like having a total of 3 bandanas. They can come in handy for a variety of different uses. For keeping warm at night around camp, I'm going to bring a small pair of Rab glove liners to go along with a pair of lightweight Rab gloves. Found these at a bar I worked at in Duluth years ago. They seem to keep my hands fairly warm. They're a little small on me, but they're stretchy, so it doesn't matter that they're not the right size. I'm going to start with those, and then this is a hat that I had my mom use as a model. She's actually making me a brand new hat right now. It's going to look similar to this, just different colors. So I'll show you guys that on my very final video right before I take off on any changes I've made to my gear system. I carry all that in a Granite Gear Sil Nylon size extra small 10-liter dry bag compression sack. For camp shoes, I'm going to have a pair of Crocs, and these are just nice to have. Don't like wearing my hiking shoes all day, every day. So I'm going to have a pair of those with me. For footwear, I'm going to start out with a pair of Montrail Trail Runners. I'll probably be switching out fairly soon. I had one other pair of these. They lasted a couple 100 miles. There aren't a lot of shops around here that have trail runners at it, so I'm going to kind of look once I get out on the trail, see what I like, maybe get professionally fitted. And then to pair with those, I have a pair of Dirty Girl trail running gaiters. These are great just for keeping sticks and dirt, pebbles, and rocks out of your shoes. And they're cool tie-dye patterns, so I'll have those as well. What I'm going to wear while I'm hiking is a pair of North Face hiker pants. Had these for years, not even sure where I got them anymore. Used them a lot. They have some different holes in them. If it gets warm, I'll switch out and I'll hike in shorts and have these in my pack. That's one of the pieces of gear that will be in the pack during warm weather season. I'll just wear them at night probably. Have a little belt that I'll bring along for those. I plan on losing a little bit of weight. This pair of compression shorts I'll use. For my shirt, I'm going to start my first day probably wearing this Columbia long sleeve, like bug away type of shirt. I'm probably going to switch out to my t-shirt along the trail quite a bit. This will go in the pack. That's part of the summer pack weight. I'll be wearing a pair of smart wool socks to start. Always have my Smith sunglasses with me. Love these, wear them every day. And then I did a poll on my Facebook page on what hat I should bring. The one I'm wearing now or my Warning Beware Bluegrass fan hat. And it seemed pretty unanimous. Everyone thinks I should bring the Warning Beware Bluegrass fan hat since I'm a big string band music fan. So I'll be wearing that hat during the day. So I think that's pretty much all the gear. My total weight for my uh, cold weather system ended up being right around 24 pounds and 13 ounces. So that's all my gear, excluding fuel, food, and water. And then my warm weather system weighed in right at 23 pounds. I am thinking about buying a couple new pieces of gear between now and when I start. One thing I'm looking at is getting a new sleeping bag. Um, that would shed almost a whole pound from my sleep system for cold weather. And I'm looking at the Marmot Helium. I love my Marmot Hydrogen summer bag. So I'm hoping REI gets them back in stock and I can get one before I take off on April 1st. I'm also looking at making a different style of alcohol stove. I'll keep everybody updated. Uh, but for right now, that's everything. So hope to see you guys all out there. And it's only, I think, about 5 weeks away till I take off to start my trip. So looking forward to it. Happy trails.